Okay, so I've created this video to show people that this stuff is just really not that serious. It's hard to really inflect in Facebook what you really mean without some people assuming what you mean. Okay, the post about comedians. Okay, what is a comedian? Okay, a court jester, late night talk show host, a stand up comic. A comedian to me, and in my 59 years on the planet and my 50 some odd conscious years watching comedians, is that they make you laugh. Yeah, they make you think, but I do not go to a comedy show to, study physics. I go to a comedy show to laugh. And if someone blends physics with pizza, with George Carlin, with Charles Manson, with whatever, and it's funny, I laugh. Okay? That's me. That's what I think a comedian. Now, if you think a comedian is a social activist that can say anything they want, funny or not, and that people are going to watch them and support them, they're probably not. There's probably not enough people to support that kind of late night. First of all, late night TV is out. That's old hat. That's for old people, and old people don't even like it. So I'm old people. I don't like it. It's boring. I don't stay up that late. If I did, they can't keep me entertained enough to keep me up. I will watch Saturday Night Live the next morning because they still get it right sometimes. Sometimes the thing about Saturday Night Live is they make fun of anybody and everybody. It's not just one-sided, and I love that. Improvised, Second City, slapstick stand-up comedy that makes fun of everybody makes everybody want to watch because it's not just one-sided. You're not just attacking one part. When you pick a party, then you've got about 70 or so million people that you've isolated and called stupid. Well, okay, then here's the thing. Either quit doing that because some of those are your friends. Try to be kind of sarcastic and funny about it instead of just pissed off all the time. Really, it gets old. I go around. There's one guy, he's on my page. He's just trolling. He's just thinking that I'm evidently as bored as he is. And I'm not. It takes a matter of seconds to respond to his stuff, and he just keeps coming back. And all it is negative criticism. He doesn't offer any sort of basis for his criticism. He doesn't back it up with facts. He doesn't use any funny sarcasm. So he's really just boring. I could just push block and send him off into the ether. No, I don't do that. Because some of these people make my case for me. Some of these people talk themselves into oblivion over nothing. They will argue over the color of a stop sign. Yeah, it's red. Okay, let's get that straight. Now, if you're colorblind, it may be green, but you have to, my hat, this is green. Okay, the time up at the top, you can't see, but I see it right now at 3:35, it's red. A stop sign is red, a go signal is green, and we know these things. You can't, just because you don't like those colors, you don't get to change those. Just, you go up there and you change the stop sign and you paint it green and you say go if you want to or stop if you want to. You don't get to do that. You don't get to cry fire in a crowded restaurant. You cannot name your kid stop. There's just things that you cannot do in America, and there's a reason for it. We drive down the right side of the road. You may hate it. You may be European, English. You may think that we should drive on the... Well, we don't. You may be all about the metric system, and we've got it, but we've also got the old system of quarts and pints, and it works fine. We still buy a gallon of milk. They tried to force that on us, and it didn't work, okay? And yet, really, it did make more sense, and I could have figured it out back then, but some people fought it, and that's just not really a life or death hill issue, the metric system or the old, division system of quarts and pints. So, whatever. You can argue about anything. You can argue about how big a Big Mac used to be versus how big the Big Mac is now. You can argue that toilet paper before COVID was wider than it is. And that's true. But these are all economic decisions, just like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert are economic decisions. If those guys were bringing in billions of trillions of billions of dollars, they're not going to cancel ESPN, guys. They're not going to cancel Guardians of the Galaxy and movies that make $1 billion. Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Carl Flood, we're all expendable. I'm not, nobody's offering me $1 trillion for my thoughts. Okay, but evidently around these parts and somewhere on any given day, I get about 40,000 views on stuff that I put up or more. One month I got 1 million views on my stuff, and Facebook gets so excited. Oh, you should make more reels. You're doing so good. I don't do it for that. I could give a rip about their money. I'm an artist, man. I'm retired. I'm making art. I'm having fun. If you're trying to pin me down as some kind of, psycho killer, whatever, no. Come on, guys. Just because I don't agree with your Democratic or your Republican slant or whatever on it, here's what I agree on. That Jesus Christ died for my sins. And he loves me just the way I am. He knows I'm flawed. I know I'm flawed. I'm following him. I'm doing the best I can to be like him. And that's the end of it. That's the beginning, the end, the Alpha, the Omega. I'm not Jesus. He's Jesus. I'm Carl. Okay? And that's about as simple as I can make it. If you don't like me, if you don't like what I say, I suggest possibly if it's causing your blood pressure to go up and you're just ambush texting me, maybe you should unfollow me or give me a break or, scroll on by. And some people call me their friends, but somebody that I've never really spent much time with in person and refuses my invitations to meet in Murray and talk these things out in person, I don't know that that's really my friend. It's an acquaintance. And some of them I want to be friends with. I want to be friends with everybody. But come on, let's face it. You can't reach everybody. Not everybody sees it your way. And that's okay. To me, that's the beauty of America. America's an idea. And the idea is that you can get all kinds of people from all kinds of places, different talents, temperaments, ages, beliefs, skin colors, and everything. And it works. And I'm going to tell you, it's still working. If you believe social media, you think it's over. You think it's just hopeless and helpless, and we better hide and duck and cover. No. Let's just be nice to each other. And if we can't be nice, let's go this way, let's go that way, let's go somewhere. There's a lot of land out in Wyoming. There's a lot of land out in Utah. There's a lot of land down around Fulton County that you could occupy. There's an island out there that very few people live on that you could move out onto, and you could have that whole island for yourself pretty much. And it's part of Kentucky, but you can't get there from Kentucky only by boat or plane or drone. But you can drive up through Tennessee and you can get to the little island that is part of Kentucky, and it's something Mile Island, and it's got a million names. All I'm telling you, it's a little island out in the Mississippi, and it's part of Kentucky, and it's connected to around Tiptonville, Tennessee. So, I spent a lot of time in Fulton County and Hickman, and I love that place. I just lost one of my best friends from down there, Jo Renberg, a 75-year-old. She was, in my opinion, the best teacher I've ever worked with, from here to Colorado to Pennsylvania, anywhere. No better teacher, no more passionate, no more kind, no more loving of her students and loving of her science and loving of art than Jo Renberg. And I want to just take a moment to just chill and think about her. And I believe if she was back right now, she'd say, Carl, a lot of this stuff just doesn't matter. And if she would, support me in my right to be on here and to be saying what I say, but she loved me. So that's a difference than some people. Some people, unless you agree with them, they can't like you or love you. And I am not that way. And the people who really know me, and I know who you are, and you know who I am. The people who really love me know me And the people who know me really love me, and they know I love them, and they know that I love the people who attack me. So I'm praying for everyone. I love everyone. I want to find common ground with everyone, and there is common ground, and here's some of them. We all need oxygen. We all need water. We all need food, shelter, clothing. We need protection from the too cold, and we need protection from the too hot. We need each other too. That's the most important one, companionship. And let's try, after 9/11 and COVID and everything we've been through, let's try to find some common ground. I wish you the best. I want you to know I love you, but more importantly, I want you to know that God loves you, and because He loves you, I love you too. Peace.